Alright, my name is Mihuta. I'm 20 years old, and these are my pinkies. Once again, I'm 20 years old. I still suck my thumb, and they haven't been washed in months!
There's a poem I read when I was younger that I remember very, very well, and it seemed to just click in, make sense. Said that when you turn 5, there's a reason you don't suddenly feel 5. 5 is no different than 4 because 5 is really 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1 all wrapped into one person. Following me? Yeah? All right. So, this means that when I was 5 and I saw my neighbor's tricycle sitting out in their front yard, it's like, let's say you're the track. Can you be the track for me? All right. When I saw that tricycle and I was like, ooh, tricycle, no, stealing is bad. I reverted back to my 3-year-old self that said, ooh, tricycle! And I took that tricycle and I brought her back to my house. And she sat in my front yard. And then I got yelled at. And then I got a speech about, no, you're 5, you know, stealing is wrong. You can feel free to sit over there or sit over there. And I just totally objectified you and made you into a tricycle. I'm sorry. She's a good tricycle. So anyway, I wanted to bring this into a wider scope. So instead of going through all my 21 years of life and be here for a while, and this isn't the Stephanie show, so I've decided to go through stages of children's development. All right, I want you all to close your eyes right now. I see some of you don't want to close your eyes. We'll get to that trust thing in a minute. Go ahead, think about your childhood. I'm going to need a little audience participation. Oh, close your eyes. Close your eyes. I see you. Okay. Now I'm really going to be quiet. I know shutting up is hard for me to do, especially those who know me know this very well. But think about your childhood. Think about where it's taken you mostly. Think about the things you do differently now because something happened to you way back when. All right, feel free to open your eyes when you need to. Okay, stage 1. This is about when you're 1 to 2 years old. Most of us don't remember this. Actually, I'm one of you. I have no idea what I did for the first 2 years of my life. It was pretty crazy times. But I did call my mom and I asked her about it. This stage is called learning basic trust versus basic mistrust. See the trust thing? Raise your hand if you were afraid to close your eyes. I know some of you are out there, and now you're afraid to raise your hand. Yeah. I have some trust issues. A few others of you do too, just because you were unwilling to close your eyes in a group setting where you know I can't jump 5 rows back to hurt you or harm you. But taking it to a serious moment, I was adopted when I was 6 actually. So the most traumatic parts of my life were that time, my childhood essentially. I had 3 families until the age of 6. I was an abused child as an infant. I don't remember it. But I was also starved in a certain way. They said I wouldn't eat. But I don't have a problem with that now. So anyway, I still remember. I remember the day that the social worker came and then left. And then I remember the next week when I was supposed to visit my biological father's house or wherever, CSB, Children's Service Bureau, for those of you who don't know, or my biological mother's house. And I remember waiting and not understanding why I couldn't go back. Because for all of you to have 3 families, if you don't already have it, is really strange. You think that would be discomfort. But for me, it was the only thing I had. It was like, Stephanie has long hair, it's blonde. It's not anymore, but. She likes peas, she likes reading, and boy, does she like horses. And she has 3 families. So that's just kind of what happened to me. So now, to kind of explain this in my terms, I have trust issues because I'm afraid that people are going to take central parts of me away. They were for my own good though. I'm very happy with the family I ended up with. I'm adopted and it's a great family. So, anyways, that's learning basic trust versus basic mistrust. This is also called the hope stage. Who issues? Anyone? Okay, you raised your hand first. Can you give me a story about just any time in your childhood that you think may have caused that? Or like any time you distrusted an adult or a sister or a cousin?
I'll just leave it at this. Until about the age of 12, I would not go around anything that was male.
All right, anybody else have this problem? Oh yeah, me too. I was like, boys, cooties, no. Not doing that. Anyway, stage 2, autonomy versus shame. This is called the Will stage. This is about when you're 18 months or 2 years old to about 3.5 to 4. So this is that like trike stage that I was talking about. Independence and initiative, develop pride, burst tantrums, and stubbornness. So, my mom, not yet adopted, but I mean I called her mom anyways. I was with her since I was 3 months old. Is strolling me around my stroller. Like, I started talking at a young age, and again, for those of you who know me, I haven't stopped. So she's like wheeling me down Dillard's. She just told me this story, I don't remember. She was like, oh, Stephanie, look at the cute, frilly, pink bathing suit. I was in the pool all the time. And I was like, no, that one. She was like, no, but the cute pink one. The one I wanted was this gaudy Mickey Mouse, like, probably almost perverse with like the ears, or I don't even know what it was. But that's the bathing suit I wanted. And I sat in my stroller until I got that bathing suit. So, this brings me back to autonomy versus shame. I wanted to be independent from my mom. I wanted to have my own swimsuit, and the way I accomplished this was by being very stubborn. See, here we kind of get them colliding. Who else is super independent? Sonja. Whoa, that girl's arms just shot out like rockets. So can you give me a time in your life that you were really independent as a child?
As a child?
Yeah.
As a child. It was first grade. I refused to tie my shoes to fit in. I really did.
Well, I'll come back to that one too. Anybody else independent? The reason why I'm doing this, just to let you know, is I want us all to feel like we didn't have the same childhood, because we're not the same person. But we had a lot of similar things happen. So this is like a uniting experience. Like we could all hold hands and sing Kumbaya and do what hippies do, which we're not going to talk about. Alright, so just so you know, that's what this experience is about. I don't want you to be like, oh, she's been up there for way too long. Let me get her off that stage. Next stage, stage 3, you're about 3.5 to what Erickson calls school age. He doesn't really define that, so I'm guessing back in, I believe he did these in the 1800s, early 1900s. Back then, it was a little younger than we call school age now, because I'm still school age. I'm still here. But, initiative versus guild, this is the purpose stage. Imagine and develop skills through play, fantasy, lead as well as follow. Versus, here's the bad stuff, fearful, hangs on the fringes of the groups, depends on adults, restricted creative development. Alright, well I'm here, so I wasn't restricted. I mean, that was supposed to be funny, but it's okay that you did that. This is another part of my life that I didn't quite remember. I think it was all that trauma that we talked about earlier. But apparently I'd organized play dates. I was like the little mom. Like I was like 3 feet tall, and I was like, no, we have to go to my house because we're having a picnic. And then my mom also told me that I thought that I was so independent, and I actually did think this because I was surprised to hear this. Apparently she'd watch me whenever I did, but I just thought I was like going. Like one time my friend Tara at a restaurant asked me like, we need more crayons. And I was like, all right. So I walk, I think I was in like a TGI Fridays. I walk up to the front, which is like really far away for a kid. It was probably like 6 times my height far away. And I like just grabbed the crayons and I